I'm Debbi Dachinger. Welcome to Dare to Dream. Be inspired to live big and bold and take action to turn your dreams into your reality. Go beyond obstacles and limits of your thinking. Accelerate results to catapult yourself to success. I'm a visibility expert who gives media makeovers to clients, booking them on media interviews and turning their books into international bestsellers with guaranteed results. Join me at DebbiDachinger.com. Dare to do great things. Dare to shine. It's all about you becoming a visionary and leading the path. Welcome to your daring new life. Welcome to Dare to Dream. Super excited to be with you. I've been doing a lot of EFT tapping. You know what that is, right? Emotional freedom technique. Wow, it's such a powerful technique. And any time I know for myself that I expand my business out and I move into new territory and start creating new things, I basically am entering a new paradigm. So it's really good for me to up-level whatever's going on inside of me, too, not just the outside. So I've been doing a lot of EFT tapping to help me do that, and just super excited about it. If you do it, too, I'd love to hear what you get out of it. And, hey, I was just featured as an icon of influence, and I'm also featured in the Ultimate Directory of Podcasters. So you can still get a free copy, but you got to jump on this because I think it goes up to $297 if you don't get in today. So it is a free copy. It's 670 of the world's leading podcasters. Go to bit.ly/Ultimate Directory and also subscribe to my podcast channel. This way you find out when all the new shows come through and leave a review. If you like what you hear, it really helps us, so we love to hear from you. Let us know how Dare to Dream is in your world and what you dare to dream, too. Definitely check in. We read everything. Well, a little bit later on, I've got Kristen Maxwell here. She guides entrepreneurs and executives to overcome lifelong patterns of limiting beliefs and operate at full potential to accelerate business success, kind of like what I was just talking about. Kristen's specialty is ending the harmful mind chatter that causes burnout and also entrepreneurial blocks. So she's going to be on later on Dare to Dream. And don't know what you're having for dinner or what wine you're drinking, but I need to be branching out a little bit more with my wine. I haven't had any for a while, and you know how much I must miss that. And waiting to hear back about a wine test that I took. I haven't talked about it much because most of those tests have brought me, frankly, some anxiety to take. And just to take the test, an enormous amount of information to remember, often in another language, and about geography and terroir and climate and grapes and all sorts of stuff. But you know what? I really went for it because it really matters to me. So love to know what wine you're drinking because you know I love wine. And I want to also talk about balance. I was talking about business. I was talking about expanding. And, you know, it's so important for us, the inner, the outer. Because in all the years that we've all been doing self-development and inner growth work, and I know if you're here listening to this show, that's you, it's easy to realize that we can lighten our burdens by coming into balance. And even if we understand that balance is desirable, sometimes it still eludes us because we approach balance with different parts of our life separately. It's actually a holistic whole, isn't it? All the pieces are interconnected, and it's better to shed the burdens by looking at our whole body-mind system. Our aim, of course, is total balance. You know, we can't achieve this by struggle. We don't achieve it by efforting or discipline, certainly not by worry or concern, and definitely not by being mean to or fighting with ourselves. That doesn't work. Total balance actually is achievable by going into a place of total balance. And when in balance, we operate from our true self. So find a practice, something that you do on a regular basis that allows you to find your true self. Could be meditation. Could be something else that brings you there, your choice. your dance card. And as you continue doing the daily practice, then you identify with balance more and more. And in time, we discover, like Dorothy, we were there all along. We were whole all along. So the thought for today is, my true self leads me to an inspired life. Justine Gardner said, the road to health for everyone is through moderation, harmony, and a sound mind in a sound body. And when we come back, Kristen Maxwell is here to offer actionable strategies to get out of our heads and end perfectionism. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
How do you comfort a grieving child? It's not easy, but the book, My Mommy is a Butterfly, facilitates the process by introducing your child to the concept of signs from the afterlife. These signs will prove to your child that their loved one is still around them and still loves them. The heartwarming story encourages your child to focus on the power of love and how it transcends death. My Mommy is a Butterfly will uplift your child with hope and resiliency. Your child will become empowered to learn that death is not only an ending, but also the beginning of a relationship where love never dies. Written by Michelle Bieber, My Mommy is a Butterfly is available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
What is LinkedIn and why should you be on it? Wondering what in the world people use LinkedIn for? You will be surprised how much is available on this popular business social network. Go to www.yourconnectionconsultant.com. Did you know that 64% of all social media traffic to websites is driven by LinkedIn? Rhonda Scher, known as the LinkedIn Diva, will explain how to double your business using LinkedIn. Don't be left out. Learn how to leverage LinkedIn today. Rhonda Scher, the LinkedIn expert, is your connection consultant at www.yourconnectionconsultant.com.
You've had enough of seeking for your purpose. You are ready to start living it. Right now, you only need one answer. What realizing your life's purpose will look like. How exactly will you do that? You don't want to make another mistake, change careers, only to feel trapped and bored again. You want to absolutely know what your special gift is and who you are meant to serve with your gift. Great business ideas are just that. They are aligned with your true essence and make a profound difference in somebody else's life. Get your free Activate Your Life's Purpose call with Lyra Kay, an international best-selling author, quantum success business, life coach, and your creative genius activator. Lyra Kay will help you take the next step today so you can make an impact and realize your potential now. Book your call at shesgotpassion.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
Welcome back to Dare to Dream. This is Debbi Dachinger. I've got Kristen Maxwell here. She hosts Your Superpowered Mind podcast, where she uses her decades of experience as a litigation attorney, also a seeker of personal growth, to share practical, actionable strategies for individuals to get out of their heads. Kristen teaches how to end anxiety, stress, insecurity, and perfectionism, instead to make a lasting and positive change. Her website, livingallinnow.com. Kristen, welcome to Dare to Dream. Great to have you.
Thank you, Debbie. It is really, really fun to be here. After listening to you, I get to talk.
Yeah, it's great. And Kristen and I know each other. We've seen each other a bunch of workshops and done things together. And so it's really nice to be hanging out with you in this form. And I am so looking forward to talking about being an unstoppable entrepreneur? Because I think it's so important. I think there are more entrepreneurs now than ever before. We already know, based on statistics, that millennials, there'll be more entrepreneurs than ever before, and less of them going to college. So let's see what we can do for people to help them. And let's start, just so people fully understand what you offer, Kristen. What's the work that you do today? Share some of that.
Yes, I'm happy to do that. My work really involves getting people out of their head and away from the stress and the behaviors and the beliefs that hold them back from being and showing up in the world how they want to be. And so a lot of what I do is I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, because really entrepreneurs, they and executives, they spend so much time getting all their systems in place, their CRM, their funnels, their lead pages, they learn selling techniques, but then they don't actually focus on what's going on inside their head, which holds them back. And actually often things like insecurity or perfectionism and overwhelm hold them back from actually using the systems and showing up. So I go straight to working with the people so they actually really change who they are and how they show up in the world.
I love that. It makes sense to me, because systems, we all hear about them. If you don't have this piece, you don't have that piece, and you got to hire this and you got to hire that. And it really makes us into business machines. But there's an inner and an outer for sure. And I'd love to know also your inner outer. So interesting to me that you started out as a litigation attorney. So what was your journey that landed you here now to becoming a champion for entrepreneurs?
Yes, it's not. I am not where I actually thought I would have started out, honestly. I was a litigation attorney for years and years, and enjoyed that, except I had always inside of me something that I'd always been dealing with, which was anxiety. And it wasn't anxiety in the sense of self-worth as much, but it was more anxiety around living and dying. Just always worrying about losing people through death or things like that. And it was something that really hung over me all the time.
Was there something that happened in your life in particular? Did you lose somebody that set up this pattern for you?
No, and that's what was really always so just didn't make sense to me. It was some of my earliest memories are of really being, a child and worrying that somebody's going to get hit that I don't even know by a car in a parking lot, or that my parents were going to get killed in a car accident on the way home from work. And I spent years in therapy trying to figure out where this came from, and it never made sense. And I could never figure out what to do with it. And it literally, I would think about, okay, if there's an earthquake, what would I do? I lived in the Bay Area. What would I do? Where would I go right now? If there's a phone call, is this somebody calling to tell me? I drove myself pretty much crazy. But what I did is I came across coaching and actually learned how to get rid of my anxiety. I went from worrying about death and having this feeling of dread always to really being very clear and happy and trusting. And it was like a miracle to me to change so much from being such a worrywart my whole life to feeling very free. And so I really started feeling called to become a coach, to help other people to get free from this type of, anxiety and getting out of their head where you feel so trapped. And as I started on my entrepreneurial journey, which I had never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I thought I would never, ever be literally, I used to say, I do not want to be an entrepreneur. What I discovered was
be careful what you say.
Yes, I'm still learning that. What I'm discovering is that entrepreneurship and really going on also, in being a really high executive is something where we are so governed by what's going on inside of us. We can spend so much time on our outside, learning techniques or learning new things. But if inside we are struggling, with feeling insecure, with feeling overwhelmed, with anxiety over our performance, doubt over what we're capable of, perfectionism, it's going to undermine us at every step of the way. And so, and also what I've learned is, when I start dealing with entrepreneurs, we really start changing the patterns that hold them back and the thoughts. And so it's incredibly rewarding to see people change and become free of patterns that they thought they were stuck in forever. So
well, you mentioned a couple.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you mentioned the qualities that plague us as entrepreneurs, the perfectionism and the anxiety and the other parts. I'm wondering, what are the limiting beliefs that entrepreneurs struggle with, and what's the impact of them? How does that show up in the business activities?
Oh, it can show up in a number of ways, and I'll go into the beliefs in a second, but it's the behaviors first, because this is the way it often is easy to identify, is you find yourself procrastinating, never wanting to do things, avoiding actually reaching out to people through email, hating to go to network events, feeling really awkward and insecure, or coming away from events and then beating yourself up for saying or doing the wrong things. It can show up as indecision, like never really knowing the right course of action or what to pick. Or it can show up in terms of lack of discipline or motivation, whether we plan or not plan what's going on. And, discomfort in how we brand ourselves, because really branding is, saying who you are and what you stand for. So it can show up, these mindsets and limiting beliefs can show up in a huge number of ways. And so what are the kind of beliefs that are behind that? Well, so for example, if somebody has an issue with selling, you might just have this, I dread to sell to people, or I hate to sell. And you start looking at the beliefs underneath, and it can go everything from, well, it's kind of rude to sell. These beliefs that you have formed across your life that you don't even necessarily associate with selling. Selling makes people uncomfortable. Like, oh, I don't feel entirely secure with my product or my service. Or, wait, maybe I'm doing something wrong if the person doesn't have money for them. Or, right. I hate asking people to do something for me. And then it all goes all the way to, like, I can't handle rejection. If this person says no, my business is over. It's crazy what we do.
Yeah, it's so hard, too. Out there's like this pattern. And I'm actually over it, where people say, oh, if you have trouble selling, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm going to make fun of them because I really hate it. And it really shows how you value or don't value yourself. If you don't feel worthy, it shows up in your sales. But I don't believe that. Really don't. I think that just because of what you said, Kristen, that there are things that predicated our lives, maybe things we saw or even experienced ourselves. Maybe we didn't like being sold to, or it made us feel uncomfortable and pressured. And then we take it out into the world. I think it has much less to do with our own personal value and worth, and much more to do with a practice and finding something that works and getting out of our own limited way. So I deeply respect that you show up and help people with these things, because these pieces are so important. When you say that some people get into their heads and say, oh, if you don't buy from me, my business will go down. The truth is, if enough people don't buy over time, if there's really an issue there, you really are going to have problems with business. So, really making sales and moving forward. So it's very important. And I want to get more into maybe some of the success stories you've had, some specifics about how you've helped somebody or some people in the past. And so we'll talk about that when we get back. You're listening to Dare to Dream Radio. You can join me after the show on Facebook. Go to Dare to Dream Radio and TV. We'll be right back.
Research shows we apologize up to 10 times a day, and most of the time, we say sorry as a response to someone else's mistake. What if we thanked people instead of all that unnecessary apologizing? So instead of saying, sorry, I'm rambling, you say, thank you for listening. Join us at projectforgive.com, a free, non-religious resource on global forgiveness.
Whether you're a wine novice, a wine lover, or a wine specialist, you will love directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders because it's sourced from boutique artisan vineyards from around the world. Give the wines as gifts for colleagues to bring to social situations or just enjoy it with family and friends. The box of wines I've been receiving from directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders are superb, to be frank. They take care in the wine they choose. Their in-house wine experts ensure that the members get only the best. They've been tasting and selecting wine for over 15 years. The goal with this club is to send you wine that you love. Each month, our experts select great premium wines from wineries around the globe. Your satisfaction is guaranteed at directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. That's direct, CELLARS.com/Deb's Wine Wonders.
What if the world doesn't function the way we've been told? What if we truly can bend the laws of physical reality? What if we can end limitation? What if weird were the coolest thing you could be? And what if it's time for a totally different reality? Are you ready to create it? Are you ready to dream as big as you dare? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything in my life changed for me. This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Gandhi, Galileo, and Aristotle all knew to be true. It's not about the answer. It's about being the question, always. It's about truly being you, whatever that looks like, and changing this world. Is now the time? Start by signing up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. That's beingyouclass.com. What if you are the gift and the change this world requires? beingyouclass.com. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
This is Debbi Dachinger on Dare to Dream Radio, and I'm interviewing Kristen Maxwell, who was a litigation attorney and now helps entrepreneurs. She had her own journey, healing what was going on inside and getting in her way, and now she helps entrepreneurs do the same. So, Kristen, we were talking about in the last segment the ways that you show up and the ways that you notice that entrepreneurs really have a poor effect on themselves in various portions of their business. why don't you talk about a specific success story? Tell us about someone you worked with, where they started, what happened, and where they ended up.
Yes, I would love to do that because the success stories are the most fun. Just seeing people change in how they show up in both their businesses and in their lives. And I have one client who was starting her own business, and when we first started working together, she was so stuck in perfectionism that she never actually would put anything out into the world for people to see. So she was trying to sell products and herself her own services, and everything she did, she was stuck in. Well, I don't think this looks good enough. This doesn't sound right. So that she never originally would say anything to anybody. She'd go to networking meetings and just stand there. And so what we did is we worked a lot on the perfectionism that was driving her, this sort of underlying feeling that nothing she did was really good or good enough. And really helped her to understand where that drive came from and to develop beliefs that were much more supportive of her without feeling driven all the time. And so she was able to get to this point where she could say, okay, this is good, and I am fine. She just had this level of peace with herself. And so now she has a really thriving business. And actually, we had a session recently, and she said, I never even have to think about this anymore. It's like I'm naturally operating from this point without even worrying about it. So it was great to see.
How freeing. I'm looking up the word perfectionism just because folks out there may be wondering, is that me? It says it's a refusal to accept any standard short of perfection. And it's a fast and enduring track to unhappiness. And it's often accompanied by depression and certain disorders, so that you're in such a toxic grip desire for success that you're actually more focused on avoiding failure. And there's a really negative orientation. So what was her turning point? What was the pivot that happened that she let go of and that she brought into her life to be free of that perfectionism and just allow herself to put stuff out there?
It was a process of becoming really, really aware of what were the actual words she was thinking to herself as she went through her day and was trying to do work, because what we all have is this dialogue that goes on inside of us, just below the level of us really even knowing that it's there. And it's saying things like, oh, that's not good enough. This will never work. Oh, don't even bother. Why do you don't know what you're doing. It's a process of becoming really aware of those thoughts and looking at them straight on. And then looking at, because these are forms and beliefs that you have taken on maybe, as a child when something you didn't understand or something that happened to you. And what you can do is you call those beliefs forward, and then you start looking at them from where you are now, you as an adult. And you look and you say, is that true? Is that really true? And what happens is your brain starts to realize that all this junk that's going on there is not actually true, and it lets it go. And you can then start really building beliefs that support you, which is, I can't remember what hers specifically, what she would say to herself, but it's like, I'm doing great. I'm doing just fine. Sort of this sort of mantra that was like, I'm doing everything that I need to be doing, that could just let her operate. And then she started to believe it and internalize it.
And you run the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program, Kristen. Is that online or is that in person? And what do people receive from that?
Yes, that is a 12-week actually group coaching session where there's part of it is online, part of it is where with group coaching, where we really start to, it's a systemic, comprehensive process that taking down the beliefs and behaviors that prevent you from really acting from your full potential in business. And so we go through beliefs and your traits and how to really take them down so they're not running the show any longer.
Awesome. Put the right CEO in place. So you talked about our full potential in business, and we talked about things like anxiety, perfectionism, stress. I also want to add hiring is very important, actionable strategy. What are some ways that we can get out of our heads and step into success instead?
Well, yes, I have actually. It's a fairly simple process, actually. It's just one that takes a bit of discipline and some guidance to get through, to figure out, where you're getting stuck, where maybe you're not really telling the truth to yourself. And one of the first and most important steps is to really get clear on what is your desired standard. What is it? How do you want to feel, as you are an entrepreneur or an executive as a boss? What would you be doing? How would you be acting? What would you be feeling as you are faced with your day-to-day challenges? And getting really clear on what that looks like. And then the second step of that is to do sort of what I alluded to earlier, which is start to list all of the ways that you hold yourself back. What do you do? What are the behaviors you engage in that are counterproductive to you being successful? Where do you procrastinate? Where do you hide? Where do you get stuck and never have discipline to do what you should be doing? And then the third step is to really then go the next step deeper and notice what are the beliefs and the fears and the traits that lie under those. What are you afraid of? What are the thoughts you have? And when you go through this process, you really get to a point where you can look squarely at what is stopping you rather than skirting around it.
I know that you have a gift for listeners, so I want to take that one step further for people who are intrigued by what you're saying. And the URL is livingallinnow.com/dream. So those who are listening to Dare to Dream, radio and podcast, you can get it right now, livingallin.com/dream. And it's called From Self-Doubt to Success, Overcome the Patterns That Hold You Back from Finding Success. Talk about that, Kristen. What is the free offer?
The free offer is actually, I'm a huge fan of giving people actionable steps. There's a lot of people who talk in generalities and, say, well, go meditate, that sort of thing. But I want to know, what can you do? What are the steps you can take now to start becoming who you want to become? And so what this freebie is sets out actually the 5 steps that you can take, really digging deep to overcome these obstacles and these limiting beliefs that are underlying your non-productive behaviors. And so it walks you can take this and really walk through changing and facing your own lack of self-worth or doubt or overwhelm and perfectionism and come through on the other side.
Nice. So again, that's livingallinnow.com/dream. Get your free offer and subscribe to Dare to Dream radio and podcast. You can do that on iTunes and leave us a review, Spreaker, YouTube. Leave us a review. Give us some love because we show up every week. We want to know that you're there too. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more with Kristen Maxwell, and we'll be going a little deep into her personally, what makes her tick. It all counts. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Debbi Dachinger's Radio Interview Mastery Program is a unique branded system that works. MediaMasteryRadio.com puts you on a fast track to grow your business and easily book interviews. Learn how at MediaMasteryRadio.com. Debbi is fiercely committed to guiding entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, healers, and business people. Learn how to leverage your radio appearances to grow your business and increase your visibility at MediaMasteryRadio.com.
Are you suffering from headaches, backaches, joint or muscle pain that's hurting your work performance? Todd Nelson is a naturopath who for 36 years has helped employees, executives, and entrepreneurs alleviate the chronic pain that kills their work performance, naturally, without depending on dangerous medications. In Todd's new report, No Pain Equals More Gain, he shares 6 major steps you can take today to start reducing pain and increasing performance. You can get this free report right now by going to nopainmoregain.net. That's nopainmoregain.net. Stop letting pain get in the way of your peak performance at work. Learn how to start working and living pain-free naturally right now at nopainmoregain.net.
You've had enough of seeking for your purpose. You are ready to start living it. Right now, you only need one answer. What realizing your life's purpose will look like. How exactly will you do that? You don't want to make another mistake, change careers, only to feel trapped and bored again. You want to absolutely know what your special gift is and who you are meant to serve with your gift. Great business ideas are just that. They are aligned with your true essence and make a profound difference in somebody else's life. Get your free Activate Your Life's Purpose call with Lyra Kay, an international best-selling author, quantum success business, life coach, and your creative genius activator. Lyra Kay will help you take the next step today so you can make an impact and realize your potential now. Book your call at shesgotpassion.com.
Tell the world about your product or business. Advertise on Dare to Dream Radio. The award-winning program is syndicated on over 60 stations, has a big following, and large listenership. If you're ready to expand your reach, become a sponsor or advertiser on Dare to Dream Radio. Best rates? Great results. Email at ads@DebbiDachinger.com. That's ads@DebbiDachinger.com.
Welcome back to Dare to Dream. I'm speaking with Kristen Maxwell. And Kristen, I want to get to know you a little better. Let's start with what allowed you to move past somebody else's expectations, if there were any in your life, and instead carve out a new path for yourself. What happened and what made that switcheroo for you to say, no, heck no, this is my life, I'm doing this for me?
Yes, that's interesting. It's that happened when I decided to leave law and go into coaching. That was a huge leap, and one that was a little bit of a shock to my husband to go from having, a successful co-earner, co-supporter, to saying, no, I'm going to go do this. And it was a bit of a leap because I've been very much a logical person. This is what you do. You go towards success. And it was the first time where I really paid attention to what I yearned for. It was like, for some reason, it hurt like, I need to do this. And it did not make sense. Like, why am I shifting like this? But it was something inside of me that just like, I need to do this. And I know that I will regret it. And I do not, one of my, things I live by is it's so important to avoid regret. And I said, I'm going to go do this. And it's been an amazing journey.
And is there a festival, a fair, or an event that you never miss? You always go to or make sure you're there?
There hasn't been, but the last couple of years, I have been to something called the New Media Summit, and that is incredible. That's Steve Olsher brings together a group of icons, one of which you were, Debbie. Mm-hmm. So people who are really well established in the radio and podcast world, and then a group of people who are really wanting to learn more about appearing on podcast or radio or that world. And that has been a fabulous event for meeting some super interesting people and learning a lot about, the world of media. Mm-hmm. It's been really amazing.
That's a cool plug, and thank you for bringing that up. And for people who are interested, who want to get booked as an interview guest in the future on podcasts, I will let you know the next time that Steve is doing one. I also never miss that, and I'll give you a URL so you can sign up and register. And Kristen, what lesson? You mentioned earlier on in the show that anxiety was your big bugaboo. That was the thing you had to really figure out. I don't know if it's a past life. That makes me so afraid of losing people, but something's going on. And you worked, you healed it, and you don't operate there anymore. If that was the longest lesson, talk about it. But if not, what was the lesson that has taken you the longest thus far to learn?
Well, that is you nailed it right on the head. I suppose that would make sense because anxiety was such, and one of what I had to learn, and I'm still learning this, it's a process of building new beliefs that I want to live by because they're supportive of me rather than taking me down and making me anxious. And that is the belief that I will not survive. I would not be able to survive if I lost somebody who was close to me. And also a belief around what it means to die. Because I had a very, a limited view of what life was. You had a life and then you died and it ended there. And what I am learning and the belief that I am developing is that we really are spirits, and that our spirit continues. Part of us continues. And so that death is just another form. And this is something that I would have laughed at you before if somebody had said that to me or said, well, if you can believe that, then you'll feel better. But I'm beginning to really feel into the truth and looking for proof of that in the world. Mm-hmm. So that is my sort of the spiritual growth journey is what I'm on right now, and definitely still avidly working towards.
What a gift anxiety gave you on the other side. Very cool. And I know you've got children. I know you're married. I know you've had this huge career. Now you have this new shift career that you allowed in your life. What about traveling, Kristen? What is next on your travel bucket list?
Well, we are taking the kids to Europe, going into northern Italy. And that is something very much looking forward to. Italy is one of my very favorite places. It feels very magical. And on the other side of that, my husband has this crazy love of backpacking, where we go out into the Sierras and for a week we are carrying everything that we are living with up and down mountains and, over 12,000-foot peaks. And that's for another trip this summer. So I've got a little bit of really fun and a trip that's going to be super hard and very super meaningful, too. Because you like, wow, look what I did.
Nice. Well, I'll tune in to watch those pictures. Italy, also one of my favorite countries on the planet. C'è la luna mezzo mare. And we're going to take a quick break. If you want to be a published author, you can apply to write a chapter in a new anthology being put together called I Am Still Here. Do you get that energy? That's really about inspiring. You've been through something and you got a story to tell. Go to debbid.net/anthology. It's going to be a global distribution book and be launched to guaranteed international bestseller. I Am Still Here. You can apply to be one of the authors. Again, go to debbid.net/anthology. And stay right there. When we come back, we're going to be finding out what Kristen Maxwell next dares to dream.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. Accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
Talk radio is the most effective way to promote a book, business, product, or personal story. Done correctly, radio interviews will open doors. MediaMasteryRadio.com offers training and media strategy. At MediaMasteryRadio.com, learn to message yourself. Get results when you are interviewed, such as sales, followers, speaking gigs, and new customers. Programs, products, workshops, and private sessions at MediaMasteryRadio.com.
Do you love wine? Do you enjoy drinking it or sharing it? Well, maybe you know a lot about wine, maybe you don't. Thanks for entrusting me with picking and choosing the most amazing wines from all over the world and delivering them to your home or business. You will receive as few or as many bottles of wine as you like, with tasting notes in your magical box of wine detailing the regions, the history, and even food and wine pairing. We will deliver to you the best wine in the world. So get in, get wine, get social at directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. Sit back and truly enjoy our wines, because we take great pride. We have invested a great deal of time selecting the most incredible wines from all over the world we know you'll enjoy and want to share at directsellers.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. That's direct, CELLARS.com/Deb's Wine Wonders. Yum.
Welcome back. I'm speaking with Kristen Maxwell. We're talking about wine and her upcoming trip to Italy. And she coaches entrepreneurs getting out of their own way so they can have success. If you would like her free report, go to livingallinnow.com/dream. Kristen, I want to find out a little bit about your new podcast called Your Superpowered Mind. What is that all about?
Yes, I'm very excited about that. It is, again, inspired by the New Media Summit. And and the opportunities, like what fun it is to have the chance to talk to really interesting people and learn what they know and help spread the message to everybody so that everybody can access their wisdom. And really what the focus is on the podcast is, as you can tell from what I've been talking about, I'm really fascinated by our brain's power to change, who we are and how we can use our brain. Yes, I very much believe in working with our spirit and our energy and all of that. But there's also a really big part of our brain and our thinking and our patterns. And people feel so stuck sometimes in the way that they think about things, the way they respond to things. There are certain traits, but we really can learn methods and ways for changing and getting out of those traps. And so what I'm hoping to do is talk to some leaders who are really showing people how to change, how to develop, how to become who they want to be, and get some actionable steps so people say, okay, this is what I can do. I can listen to this, and I can go and start asking myself these questions. So that's what it's going to be about. I have my first interview this week.
Woohoo! Your superpowered mind. You go. I'm very excited for you. And this is Dare to Dream. So, Kristen Maxwell, what do you next dare to dream? What are your future dreams and goals?
My future dreams and goals are really to share the freedom that I have been able to gain for myself, and the ability to really get out of my comfort zone. And I would love to help other people do that, because we all have so many gifts and the world needs the gifts. And so I am working on, I've worked on my brain, and now I'm working on the systems part of the entrepreneurial bit. So that's that's my next focus.
Excellent. And we started out at the beginning of the show, I was talking about being in total balance. And I'm wondering for you, how do you get there? What is your one ritual or one practice that helps to keep you grounded on a daily basis?
I can't pick one, honestly, because it ranges from I exercise every day, because there's something, I think, because I am so in my head, it's so important to get out of it. And then I do spend a few minutes every day really it's sort of a form of meditating, where I'm really just paying attention to my breath and to my intentions. How do I want to feel that day? How do I want to show up? Do I want to be relaxed? And that, to me, is a game changer.
I know you do work around mind chatter, and I know that mind chatter negatively impacts people's lives. Give us a tip. How can people overcome mind chatter during a time when I think it's very difficult to turn off our minds?
Yes, this is really, it's a process of becoming, again, I sound like a broken record, but it's a process of learning what beliefs are causing the anxiety underneath and forming beliefs that really are supportive. So for me, it was this fear that death was the end, that it was not survivable. Meaning for the people who are survivors, that all joy was left. And so learn, what is the belief that would make you feel better, that would give you comfort? And for me, that belief is that there is life beyond death, that our spirit does. And then go out and prove that to yourself. Find the evidence of that in the world.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen Maxwell, for being with us today on Dare to Dream. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Debbie. This has been great. I so love what you're doing and all that you have to share, and I love how you've set this up for everybody.
I end today's show with this quote from Paul Arden. Too many people spend too much time trying to perfect something before they actually do it. Instead of waiting for perfection, run with what you got and fix it along the way. Next up on Dare to Dream Radio and Podcast, I am featuring Mariko Hirakawa. She's an internationally known yoga Ayurveda expert, and she's the founder of Visionary Yoga. Tune in to learn how Mariko does what she does with yoga and Ayurveda and how she's gotten where she does. She makes great money doing what she does out into the world. Thank you for joining me today on Dare to Dream. Subscribe to the show and also to the inspirational YouTube videos at youtube.com/Deb on the radio. Have a great week.
To contact the award-winning syndicated Dare to Dream radio show, go to DebbiDachinger.com. Keep your excellent feedback and comments coming. Your host, Debbi Dachinger, is an expert at goal achievement, a media personality, an international best-selling author, and a keynote speaker. Debbi leads high-quality teleseminars on how to achieve goals, how to be a self-published best-selling author, and how to get booked on radio. All classes are at DebbiDachinger.com. Debbi's best-selling books are Dare to Dream, This Life Counts, sold on Amazon, and her second book, Wisdom to Success, The Secrets to Accomplish All Your Dreams, sold online at all bookstores. Tune in again to hear the next inspiring interview guest who has turned their vision into a successful reality. Want more support in making your dreams come true? Go to DebbiDachinger.com. That's www.DebbiDachinger.com. You'll see videos, MP3s, archived interviews, and amazing products sharing the secret steps to making your dreams come true. Remember to dream big with every expectation that your dream will become real. Dreams are free, so free your dreams. What do you dare to dream?
Here I'm standing now, waiting for my time to be all that I can be. It's so easy to forget, life is in my hands.